What's up, everyone? My name is Denise, and you are watching or listening to my podcast called That K-pop Talk, where every week I give you the news and reviews of the latest and greatest in Korean popular music. What I would love for you to do right now is click like, share, and subscribe to my podcast channel. And if you would love to support me, there is a link in the description box. So sit back and relax. We got a jam-packed episode of That K-pop Talk, and K-pop news is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to That K-pop Talk. It is time for K-pop news. And before I begin, I just want to preface this by saying, if you guys listen to me every week, you always hear me say, back in 2020, all I knew was BTS. That's it. Nobody else in the K-pop world. It's always been Kim Namjoon, Kim Seokjin, Min Yoongi, Jang Ho-suk, Park Jimin, Kim Taeyang, Jung Jungkook, BTS. That's all I ever knew. And by doing this podcast, I've learned to appreciate and love other groups as well. But I'm always going to be number one to BTS. Okay, I'm prefacing this by saying I want to give a huge congratulations to 17. Yes, I am. I'm giving a huge congratulations to Karen Land out there because this past week, 17 has managed to dethrone BTS on the most sales in 1 week and also the most sales in 1 day. I'm going to throw out the numbers to you, okay? So, BTS had 4.2 million sales in 1 week for their Map of the Soul 7 album, okay? And then in 1 day, they had 3.3 million, okay? 17, as of April 24th, when they debuted with their album, not debuted, but when the album itself debuted, they got a record 3 million. Some people say 3.9, but we're going to go with the lower number, 3 million in 1 day. And then in 1 week, 4.5 million records. So congratulations, I'm clapping. Sorry for those who are listening by audio, but I'm clapping because I want to give props where props is due. 17 has had an awesome run so far on this album. It's called FML, and they have 2 title tracks. The 2 title tracks are FML itself and the one that is playing right now that everyone has been vibing and jamming out to, which is Super. And they have had a ton of challenges with their other K-pop friends on YouTube and all the social media, you know, whether it's TikTok or Instagram. And they've done so many promotions on this song, Super. Okay, I'm going to tell you where they've been. Besides the music video, they've done MTV Fresh Out Live. They've done K-pop Live. By the way, they got 3 million views on K-pop Live on that one. They have done Inky Gaio. They have done Mnet, K-pop, World TV, KBS, and like I said, a ton of collabs with other people on their dance challenge. I think, today was with Vernon and Nikki by the time I do this podcast. And let me tell you, I love me some Nikki from Enhypen now. That is my bias on Enhypen. He is, woo. Anyways, I love me some Nikki. And he did the challenge to Super with Vernon from 17. And I love to see that collab right there. Give you some more numbers. Today, as of this date of me filming this podcast, they have over 70.5 million views on their YouTube. So I'm pretty sure they're going to cross that 100 million milestone pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that because I guarantee you they're going to cross over 100 million. Give you a little context on my introduction into who 17 was. Some of you guys, if you listen, like I said, to my podcast, you'll hear me talk about this as well. My first introduction to 17 was back in, I believe it was October, November. I think it was November. I had my first K-pop concert. Didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I had run into someone who's a promoter, and he found out I love K-pop. I told him I was going to start doing a K-pop podcast. And this, like I said, this was in November. And he said, well, let me give you some material to start off with. Here are 4 VIP tickets to go see 17. I had about peed in my pants on that one. Not literally, but figuratively. And I was so grateful because that was the start of me and my K-pop career, starting off making friends with other people. And K-pop career meaning, filming footage and, starting, my social media, getting everything together for that, because that's when I started doing my TikTok and all that stuff. So I really appreciate everyone supporting me. But that's the far side note. Let's pull it back into 17. So the reason why I say that is because when I first saw 17, I see the reason why people have fallen in love with them and where their K-pop stardom was coming from. Seriously, there are 13 guys on that stage, and I saw the blood, sweat, and tears going into what they were doing. My daughter, she I think his name is The 8. She liked him. All she was talking about how he was doing this. I see she's back behind the camera right now, doing the little swervy things, the fingers that The 8 was doing at the concert that day. And, I met some carrots out there. One carrot, I think she's on episode 7 of my podcast, 7 or 8 of my podcast. Her name is Grace. She's from Chicago, and she really loves 17. And I've grown for a huge appreciation for 17 through my friends and because of their music themselves. So congratulations, 17, on everything. I also wanted to tell you about Woozi, which we will get into later. Woozi is their director, actually. He is responsible for all their songs, and he was featured on Suga's show called Time to Drink with Sugar. So we'll get into that later in the BTS segment, but I just wanted to mention that. So hats off to Woozi, because Woozi, like I said, he is the Don, so to speak, of 17. And so I really appreciate everything that he does when he puts these musical projects together. And also, they're doing 2 comebacks. I'm not sure if you guys know, but they spilled the beans. I think it was, I forgot who it was, but Woozi said it on Time to Drink with Sugar, who spilled the beans. They call him and this other guy the accelerator because their mouths just go 100 miles per hour and they don't know how to keep secrets in. And they were at, I think it was the meet and greet in Japan, the fan meet and greet. And then one of them just said, we're going to have, skip it, we're going to have 2 comebacks. We're going to have a second comeback this year. And the fans went crazy. So I am so happy that they're going to do 2 comebacks because, as you know, it will come time pretty soon. Not pretty soon, but it will come time within the next year, give or take, that the members are going to start trickling into the military as well. So I just want you guys to know that. And another fact about them, and I didn't know this, but I want you guys to know as well that I just found out. They debuted May 26, 2015, and their EP was called 17 Karat. And I want you guys really let this sink in. They were the longest charting K-pop album of that year in 2015. Not only that, it was their debut album. So think about this. This is the first time you come out as a K-pop group. Not only did you come out as a K-pop group, you debuted in the US, and you was the longest running K-pop group that year charting in the US. And then they were the only rookie album to appear on Billboard's Top 10 Best K-Pop Albums of 2015. As a rookie. Like I said, they just did their album and said, here we go. And they got the top 10 best albums of K-pop on Billboard. So congratulations to all your success, 17. And I'm glad you're part of the HYBE family because, like I said, HYBE has BTS as well. And if you guys haven't seen it, like I said, I'll bring it up again later on this podcast, but go see the interview between Woozi and Suga, the 2 mega producers, as I call them. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Kai. Since we're talking about enlisting in the military, when I was talking about 17, Kai's going in. And I'm talking about Kai from EXO, you guys. This was very abrupt, and I'm going to tell you what happened. So Kai was with EXO. I'm not sure if you guys know, but EXO was preparing for their 4th album. And he got a letter from the government saying you have to enroll in the military, you have to enlist. And EXO was saying this because of military changes, but I'm gonna tell you what is required going into the military. Okay, so you have to be able-bodied between 18 and 28 as a man. 18 and 28 is that range. Anything outside of that range, you have 5 chances to postpone it. So out of the 5 chances to postpone, 2 could be miscellaneous. But the other 3 has to be a valid reason why you're going to postpone. Now, I don't know what those valid reasons are, but evidently Kai is 29. He'll be 30, I believe, in January. But because he's 29, they said he already used 2 miscellaneous. I don't know if he used the other 3 or not. And I don't know if the other 3 has to be like a life or death type thing, or maybe if you was disabled or something really happened to postpone. But evidently the military said, no, Kai has to go in now. So unfortunately, you guys, I don't know the fate of the 4th album that EXO is supposed to be doing. Hopefully we'll hear about that. Maybe they'll expedite the process of doing the album before he goes in. I don't know if that can be done because, like I said, he has to go in next week. So let's keep our eyes and ears open for that. And let's support EXO. Let's support Kai. Let's support Kai's friends and family and EXO's management team as they all band together to try to figure out what to do. I do know when he goes in, he's not going to give the place or time or have a famous ceremony, anything like that. The K-pop people are normally pretty low. The K-pop idols are normally pretty low when it comes to going into the military. So our thoughts and prayers and everything is with Kai, EXO, the management, friends, and family as they try to navigate this time to hurry up and get him in and navigate what EXO is doing at this time. So, yeah. But EXO, we are here with you, and Kai, we are here with you, and we will be waiting when you get out. Let me tell you, we're not going anywhere because that Rover album was all that in a bag of chips. Okay, moving on, the Met Gala. Okay, so last week, I talked about the rumors that were going around that there were 4 people that may go to the military. I mean, not military, may go to the Met Gala. We just finished talking about the military. That was still on my mind. But anyways, the Met Gala. So I did mention it was a rumor because I wasn't sure. And I did say, let's keep our eyes and ears open to see which one out of the 4 will go. Well, only one of the 4 went. And that one is Jennie from Blackpink. She showed up. The surprise was Jackson Wang, though. I didn't even mention him last week. I said it was RM, Rose, Jimin, and Jennie. That's who I mentioned before that was floating around, right? But it was Jackson Wang and Jennie from Blackpink. Those are the 2 that went. So let's talk about them. Okay, so Jennie was wearing Chanel. And by the way, she was the most talked about person on social media. I do have a gripe, a minor gripe though. Why was it that most of the US media outlets did not show Jennie in their social media? I have a gripe about that. She was the most mentioned on social media, Twitter and Instagram, but yet you can't show her in the US social media. No one really talked about her. I was watching that night and no one really showed her. I just think that that's not right. And that's just my opinion, but I don't think that's right. I mean, because evidently she brought something to the Met Gala. Anna would not have invited her if she didn't bring substance. And I'm going to give you a fact, and I put it in my Instagram. She was the last person that Carl, I think his last name is Lagerfeld, the last person that he anointed. And I say anointed. It's appointed, but I'm saying anointed because she was the last one to be appointed to the house ambassador of Chanel. That's special before he passed. So why not have her plastered everywhere? That was the last one of his children, as I call it, his ambassador children. So, Jennie, hats off to you, girl. I mean, you kicking butt taking names right now. Anyways, we'll get to her on the Calvin Klein ad in a minute. But She was the most talked about or, tweeted about person on social media. And Jackson Wang was the most tweeted about male on social media. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. You can't take away the numbers. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you go by numbers, everyone else is in the dust. Like, I'm just telling you how it is. I loved everybody who was at the Met. I thought everyone represented in their own way, and everyone looked fabulous in their own way. I have no haters out there. I don't hate on anybody. But let's do facts of facts. The facts are Jenny and Jackson Wang dominated by social media. That it is what it is. Okay, so I'm just putting it out there. I thought that Jenny should have gotten more screen time, and that's that. Now, I'm going to talk about why Sugar and RM was not there. And Sugar, RM, and Jimin. Because Jimin was the main reason why everybody was tuning in. I get that. He wasn't there. It is what it is. But when we get to the BTS segment, I will explain why, in my opinion, they were not there. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about some K-pop milestones, shall we? New Jeans. They got 2 of them. They got 300 million on Spotify for Oh My God and 300 million for Ditto. So congratulations to New Jeans. Now on YouTube, we have Xdinary Heroes. Xdinary Heroes. Sorry, I always want to say Extraordinaries, but it's Xdinary Heroes, which is my K-pop rock band that's growing on me. With 10 million views for their YouTube video called Freaking Bad. Freaking bad, freaking good. Dun, 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 dun. That's Xdinary Heroes. Please don't make fun of my voice. I'm just playing around with it, but you know what I'm talking about here. Itzy just kick butt into names right now. They got 500 million for their music video called Wannabe. So congratulations to Itzy, the K-pop girl group. Now, I saved this one for last on milestones because this was a long time coming for this song. And I'm so glad that these people are getting their props for this song. 100 million views for the YouTube video called Baby Don't Stop by NCT U, 10 and Taeyang. And that's Taeyong. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on this particular song. When I was looking up NCT because Ayo came out, Ayo, oh, I love that song. Anyways, with NCT, I think it was NCT 127 did Ayo or Dream. I forget which one. But when Ayo came out, I think it's 127. I'm pretty sure it's NCT 127. Did Ayo, I did some not investigation, but some background on NCT because I wanted to know more about them. And so I watched the video, Baby Don't Stop, and I'm like, I like them. But why was it only 2 of them? And that's when I found out about the subunits of NCT. But NCT U, I was listening to that song. I was like, why is it this song? This is the bomb diggity. I really do like this song. So then I did some more research and I'm like, well, why are they just now reaching 100 million, YouTube views? Because in January, they performed it again at SM Town Live. And that sparked interest again in the song. And now they're over. I just checked that they're over 100 million and growing. So I think this song may make a resurgence because let me tell you, that song is timeless. If you guys already know, all these songs I talk about is going to be in the link in my YouTube description box. So if I were you guys, I would go click on that link when my YouTube video comes out and you can listen to Baby Don't Stop. But it's a classic, you guys. So congratulations to 10 and Taeyang for that song. So there's that. Okay, moving along. Let's talk about some tours or upcoming tours. Jackson Wang, speaking of Jackson, Jackson Wang has started his Magic Man North American tour. It started on April 26th in Los Angeles, and from there he went to San Francisco, Vancouver, Chicago, and today, by the time they filmed this today, he will still be in Chicago. On the 6th of May, he's going to go to Toronto and end his North American tour in New York City on May 11th. So congratulations to the Magic Man himself, Jackson Wang, for starting his Magic Man Tour. Stray Kids. So to prepare for their upcoming stuff, they have released a promotion schedule, and they already released their teaser concept video and poster, and their album 5 Star finally got a date. The date for their comeback is going to be on June 2nd at 1 p.m. As we know, that is June 1st at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because we're 14 hours behind them here in LA. And this will be their 3rd full album. I am so happy on this one, because Stray Kids, I mean, it was a long time coming, because, you know, they've been touring, and they're going to be coming off their tour, going straight into the studio, doing this, and then coming into this January 2nd, you know, comeback album to do all that back to back. My goodness, Stray Kids, y'all are some working machines, but we're here for it. Okay, Enhypen, y'all. Woo! Y'all know I'm all about Nicki on Enhypen. I love all 7 of them, those guys though. But in Nicki, there's something about Nicki. But anyways, May 22nd is coming up faster than I thought, because at first they didn't even give a deadline or a release date. But now we know it's May 22nd for Dark Blood. This is their 4th mini album. It's going to be released at 6 p.m. Korean Standard Time. As you know, that's 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here in LA. And they have already released a logo trailer and an 8-minute concept trailer. And today, at the time of me filming this, they released a full-length trailer I have not seen yet. But let me tell you, it's pretty grindy, because they're vampires. And when I watched the concept trailer, I was just like, whoa. And my boy Nicki had bites on his neck, vampire bites on his neck. So you know it's about time. It's about time. But you guys know that this is in their wheelhouse, right? There was a song, I forgot the name of it, but there was a song back on their, not last album, but album before that, where they had vampire-like theme throughout that music video. So this is in their wheelhouse. I think they like that, you know? And in their concept video, it was very complex, like a movie, and it was so beautiful. And they had this girl in there, and I can't give it away. You guys need to watch it yourselves. But this girl is like a central focus in this whole concept trailer. Okay, so again, I'm gonna put the link in my YouTube description box, so you guys be on the lookout for that. I can't wait for it's called Dark Blood, which is the name of the album. Can't wait for it to be released. You guys be on the lookout, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more teasers to come to get us ready and pump us up for the release date. Okay, moving on from that, we're done with K-pop news. Oh, you guys, I forgot to mention, Jennie from Blackpink is in a Calvin Klein ad that is so amazing. It shows off her toned body, like she is so fit. You know, Jennie, my girl. Like, you know, all the Blackpink girls are my girls. But Jennie, she's that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just down to earth, cool like that. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really do like her. So that Calvin Klein ad, they could have picked a better person to do it. So you guys, I'm going to put that link in the description box as well, so you guys can see it. So nicely done. I'm so proud of Jennie. And that will conclude our K-pop news segment. Up next, you already know, Bangtan Boys, BTS. Y'all can't wait. I can't either. Sit back, relax, come back after the break, because BTS news is next. Welcome back to that K-pop talk, and this segment is BTS news. Let's get straight into it, because first off, I'm going to talk about my boy Suga. Yes, Suga. Min Young-gi AgustD was on Jimmy Fallon as part of his jam-packed weekend in New York. We'll get to his other festivities that he was doing in just a moment. But first, let's talk about Jimmy Fallon, shall we? Okay. First of all, your boy got some acting chops because he did a couple of sketches. One was him playing opposite himself, and he was playing the characters that was in his music video, Hagem, right? So he did a pretty good job on that, and he was in this other sketch called, what is it called? Imposter Challenge with Sugar. So you had to guess who had what items when they ate them. So the first one was sugar and salt. So you got to guess if Jimmy Fallon had the sugar or salt, or if Sugar tasted the sugar or salt. And then the second one was water and vinegar. And the third one was chicken with very, very hot sauce or no hot sauce at all. So the audience had to vote and see who actually had what. Now, what I gathered from that is the third one, which was the hot sauce versus no hot sauce. Sugar had the one with hot sauce, and no one guessed that one. But what was going through my mind was, Sugar, you like hot sauce, because when he took a bite of it, Sugar didn't flinch. Like, Sugar was like, okay. And everybody thought he didn't have the one with the hot sauce. I thought the same thing. But the boy had the one with the hot sauce on it. So that's what I learned from that segment, is that Sugar doesn't care. He'll eat, and he'll eat good, okay? Something else that I want to bring up too is that we learned a lot about Sugar. First of all, he has a personality. Like, he's funny. He has underlying humor that a lot of people didn't know he had. I didn't know he had. Like, I knew Sugar, you know what I'm saying? Sugar likes certain things. And what I mean by that is, if Sugar really likes you, he likes you. If he don't like you, he doesn't like you. It seemed like to me he had that personality. And Sugar is very much an introvert. So it takes a lot for him to warm up to people. Because, like I said, Sugar has his world. And anything that goes outside that world can make him sort of uncomfortable, in my opinion. So for him to be on that show and answer the questions the way he did in such a humorous way with that underlying humor tone, that to me spoke volumes, that Sugar is more than what we think he is. Like, he could be downright funny if he wants to be. Okay, so I like the way he explained how he got AgustD. Now, we Army, we know where AgustD came from. And for those of you out there who don't know where AgustD came from and you didn't watch the interview, it's because it is, okay, first of all, he's from Daegu, right? And it's called Daegu Town. And Hitman Bang named him Sugar, right? And he told Jimmy Fallon Sugar means shooting guard. So Sugar, right? And so Sugar, Daegu Town, so it's Daegu Town, DT, and then Sugar, his name, spelled backwards. So it's AgustD, Daytown Sugar, AgustD. Get it? So AgustD is AGUSTD. So Sugar, Town, Daegu. Okay. Moving on from that one. So that's how he got his name. And then he was asking him, about his three names. So AgustD, and then you got Sugar, and then you have Min Young-gi, right? And a lot of celebrities that are singers, they say they go into like an alter personality when they're on stage performing, right? And he gave examples like Beyonce is Sasha Fierce, For example, Sugar said, I'm the same person. I don't go into no alter egos. I don't go into any alter egos. He said, you can call me AgustD, you can call me Sugar, and you can call me Min Young-gi. That is the first time I heard someone say, I'm the same person. I don't change. So take that. And then he also was explaining to Jimmy Fallon what D-Day means to him. And D-Day, he said, quote Min Young-gi, it means to liberate myself from all the shackles in my life. And really, my daughter and I was talking about Hagem, and my daughter was spot on, because that's what she said. Before we even watched this interview, I had her watch Emiglada, and I had her watch Hagum, and she said that. She was like, he's just expressing his feelings of him, you know, releasing all the things that held him down in his life, and he's freeing it in his music. And I was like, wow, when I watched this video, I mean, not video, when I watched the interview, my dog was like, I told you. And I was like, wow, she was spot on. So, and then Hagum, he said, I didn't know Hagum was also an instrument. He said it could mean two things: the instrument itself, and then liberation from the band, which goes hand in hand with trying to release the shackles, you know, in his life. But it could also mean to us liberation of the band, meaning, you know, anything, you know, whatever pertains in your life or your situation, or culturally, your liberation of the band. So that makes me love Hagum even more. Okay. So besides him being on Jimmy Fallon, and by the way, the performance was a 10 out of 10. Okay. I just wanted to put it out there. When I see Suga perform, whether he's Suga or Min Yoongi or AgustD, he is always off the chain. But when he was on Jimmy Fallon, he definitely was off the chain. Okay. So he did his New York performances with so many accolades, so many people posting about him, so many things that, you know, were speaking so positively about the concert. They said on day 2, his guitar broke, his string broke, and he had to go to an electric version of it. So there's that. But he kept going, and he had the backup. So he said he's going to have to get better guitars. So I thought that was sort of funny. And so when his New York performances, on top of that, he went to a New York Knicks game. So Suga was all over the place, which alludes me into, and by the way, he's in Chicago as of the day of filming this. So after Chicago, he's off again, but right now he's in Chicago. So everyone in Chicago, hats off to you that you got to see Min Yoongi perform. Okay, Woozi and Suga, okay? And oh, and by the way, Suga had Jimin there. Jimin popped up, and Suga's been wanting Jimin to do one of his songs with him, and I'm looking for Jimin to pop up any moment now at any one of these concerts and do the song with Suga. I forgot the name of the song, but I'm pretty sure, oh, Tony Montana. He wants him to do Tony Montana with him. So I'm pretty sure that one of these concerts, we don't know which, but I won't be surprised if Jimin shows up and they do Tony Montana together. I fall out. I would just be like, oh, I'll just fall out if I ever saw that. Okay. And we'll get to why Jimin wasn't at Met Gala. But for right now, let's go into Suga's show called Time to Drink with Suga. Now, I've been telling people, if y'all haven't seen this show yet, y'all need to watch it. It's so informative because you get to really see from the Korean artist perspective on what life is like and things that they've accomplished. And just talking to Suga. Suga asks good questions in his show. It's called Sitwita, which is to drink. So Sitwita with Suga. That's the name of it. But it's in English, it's Time to Drink with Suga. But on this show, this particular episode is episode 10, and he had Woozi from 17 on there. And Woozi and Suga together was like the of all episodes, because Woozi was the director and is the director and the craft mind behind the songs for 17, and Suga is the main one that is behind the songs for BTS. There's really 3 with BTS, which would be Suga, J-Hope, and RM. But Suga, you know, Suga be coming with it. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is Suga he's just all over the place. He loves to write music and he loves to produce. I was actually going back to one of the original interviews that Jimmy Fallon had with BTS on the train. If you guys remember that episode, of Jimmy Fallon, and he asked each one of the BTS members, what do they want to do if they did not, do, BTS? And Suga said, I want to songwrite and produce. He said that. And that's what he does with BTS. So that's why I said, I just want to explain myself, because I know some army out there saying, RM be producing and writing, and so does J-Hope. But I just wanted to context that for you, put it in context for you, that although I do recognize RM, and RM was my bias for the longest. RM is the leader, and J-Hope, they do contribute too, but Suga is like the majority of the time he is behind the producing part of it. Okay. So I just wanted to clear that up. So Woozi can't drink. When he came into the show, he had brought Suga some tea, some good tea at that. I mean, I'm thinking about ordering some of that tea because that tea look good. He can't drink. And I didn't have time to research this, but if you guys know why he can't drink, please let me know. I don't know if it's for health reasons or if he just doesn't do it because of the creative process that he's in. But Woozi said he can't. He didn't say he didn't want to drink. He said he can't drink. So that's why I want to know what was behind that. He is the director and producer 17. And something I didn't know, Woozi and Suga are both from Daegu. And they were talking about the Daegu dialect. I thought it was so cute when they were interacting with each other. But it was interesting to hear from both of their perspectives what it's like to be in charge mainly of each team's music, each K-pop group's music, and the pressures that you feel to keep putting out the music. And also too, what it's like when, you want to talk about other things outside of what you do when you're not at work, but you always find yourself coming back to talking about work because you don't have anything else to talk about with people. So you come back and you talk about work because that's the only thing you have in common. So I thought that was interesting that they both was talking about that. Something else I wanted to say too about Woozi and Suga is, and I didn't know, I wasn't even thinking about this, that people would say that Woozi looks like Suga's younger brother. At first, I didn't see that. I really didn't, because their personalities, were different when they weren't together. Like, when I saw Woozi with 17, I saw Suga with BTS. I'm like, I don't see that. But when they were on the show, I was like, well, maybe they could pass for, brothers. But I just thought that their personalities matched so much that they would probably be best friends in another life or, outside of what they do. But you could tell that both of them, they love what they do with their perspectives. And Suga even told Woozi, I would love to collab with you. He was like, I want to, let me tell y'all, if they put out a project together, I'm there. I am there. But Woozi even said that it was hard for him to do other people's stuff. Because, Suga said he felt sort of obligated when people ask him, you want to do stuff. But Woozi said he turns down a lot of stuff because he just doesn't have time because he does all their music. Whereas Suga, that's when RM and J-Hope come into play, they contribute. And also, too, you got P-Dog. You remember I said P-Dog has been with BTS since day one. So P-Dog, is also that silent partner that you don't see, but he's there helping them put their songs together as well. So there's that. Okay, moving on from Suga, we're going to get into what another member is up to, actually two, and that is V and Jungkook. So we are talking about the music that they're getting ready to release. People have been going crazy over the internet, knowing that it has been reported that V is coming out with new music in the third quarter of this year, 2023, and Jungkook is coming out with music in the fourth quarter, reportedly, of this year. How do we know this? Because I personally was trying to look that up and somebody said it was on HYBE's website. So I went to HYBE's website because I verify my stories, y'all, and didn't see it. I was like, wait a minute, I thought they said this was on HYBE's website. I don't see this anywhere on HYBE's website. And trust me, I looked. It was on the quarterly reporting with the investor meeting. That's where it was at. So if you went there, you will find it. So in the investor meeting, they reported first quarter earnings, which has skyrocketed up 44%, right? Which is a record. 44% they projected. It was a first quarter record for HYBE. And they credited to the success of Jimin's album, Like Crazy, and also just the success of Jimin's album, of J-Hope anticipation and his stuff, of everything that the other artists are doing. So I'm gonna go over some things in the coming up later on in the BTS news, but I just wanted to mention that HYBE has had an awesome quarter, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But yes, music is definitely on the way. I confirmed it, and once I saw it with my own eyes and ears that it was confirmed, because you can listen to the phone call too as well, then I knew, okay, they really are coming out with music. So let me tell you, I am here for it. Okay, so this is to be continued, you guys. When we finally hear from Big Hit and we finally hear from HYBE, then we know 100% confirmation that it's happening. But so far, this is what has been said. That's why I'm saying reportedly. Listen again, reportedly, it is third quarter and fourth quarter for V and for Jungkook to come out with their music. Okay, so until we hear from HYBE and Big Hit, it's reportedly. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Jungkook, y'all, don't send him any more food. He's not going to eat it. It's not even going to get past the first door. It's not even going to get to the door. Okay, what am I talking about? Okay, so since he has done his recipes on his Weverse lives, and I'm telling y'all keep hearing me week after week, y'all better get that Weverse, because you know Jungkook is not on Instagram, but he be on that Weverse. Okay, so Jungkook has a thumb for cooking, so much so that Rolling Stone has said that he is a top chef and an artist with multi-talents. That's what Rolling Stone said, not me. Although he is a top chef with multi-talents. So since his bulgogi has gone viral and he has since released another recipe, right? And BTS has their cookbook. You can go on Weverse and get their cookbook. I think they have 2 cookbooks now. I think they said something the other day about another cookbook. But in other words, you can go to Weverse and get their cookbooks, right? You can go online and get Jungkook's recipes that he's been giving out. But for some odd reason, people find the need now, since all this has transpired, to deliver food to his house. First of all, why you even want to know where the boy live? Why? What? You can't go there? My daughter's laughing, but you can't show up at his doorstep. He gonna look at you like you crazy. And I'm saying this with love, y'all. Leave the boy at peace. Let him enjoy his time in his own four corners. You know, leave him alone. You see him on his Weverse, that should be enough. You see him, my daughter's up here laughing at me, but I'm serious. And I may be saying this because I'm a mom. You know, if a girl kept coming to my son, or if someone kept delivering stuff to my son, I'd be like, look, y'all gotta stop. This is crazy. I'm not calling y'all crazy. If you are delivering it to him, I'm not calling you crazy. The act itself is crazy. You are not crazy. No. We're not going to call you crazy. But the act itself, put it this way. If you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, what is that definition called? Okay. That's all I got to say. And if y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, it's called insanity. Please, you guys, leave it alone. Don't send Jungkook food. Okay, moving on from that. Other Jungkook news. Okay, so The former ministry employee that worked for the government of South Korea has gotten fined 1 million Korean won for trying to sell your boy his Kango hat. Why am I can't believe I'm talking about this right now. The two news about John Cook should be about things that are positively uplifted. And I'm talking about craziness. This, I can't believe I'm talking about this. Someone tried to sell his Kango hat. And I'm going to tell y'all the background on that one. So, a while ago, John Cook was traveling and he lost his Kango hat. His favorite Kango hat. It went missing. And no one, quote unquote, could seem to find it. Then all of a sudden, a little while later, it appears to be for sale. And we're like, wait a minute, that's John Cook's hat. What you doing selling his hat? This man tried to act like he didn't know it was John Cook's hat. Okay? We all knew that was John Cook's hat. So then he got fined 1 million won. Finally, justice has been served. It really hasn't been served because we knew what he was trying to do, right? That in US dollars amounts to 700. Let me look at the conversion here. 784 US dollars. Yeah, my dog's like, I think it should have been more than that, right? It should have been more than that. You should have really given the hat back to John Cook. He would have given you more than $784. He probably would have I personally would have chopped off more than that. You would have gotten the money from John Cook and not been fined. And then you would have been seen as a hero instead of as a person like, you took John Cook's hat. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It would have been easier to give the hat back and got notoriety that way. Okay, moving on. A positive note on John Cook. Your boy has surpassed 7 million followers on Spotify. There we go. There we go. Okay, moving on, because we are here about positivity. Speaking of that, and I know I'm going back to this, take that money that you're sending to John Cook to deliver food to him. Why don't you use that money and deliver food to someone who needs it? Let me get off my soapbox about y'all. Okay, y'all, moving on. We got to talk about RM, our leader, Kim Namjoon, right? Okay, so he has collabed with Colde. And that's Colde. I looked up pronunciation. It's Colde. And Colde has this album called Love Part 2 coming, that it's not coming out. It's already out. It came out today by the time I'm filming this. And the second track on there is called Don't Ever Say Love Me. And that track is with RM. And let me tell you, I love it. I love it. I haven't seen any visuals out yet because the music video that Colde has put out is called Heartbreak Club. And I'm going to get into that in the K releases in the next segment. But let me tell you, that whole album is so good. And the one that RM did is so good. It's like a R&B jazz. I don't even know how to put it. R&B jazz infusion. And like R&B is like, it's like a speakeasy song. And RM is just like speaking like in a speakeasy tone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just want to just sway and be like, snapping your fingers. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of song. And then all of a sudden it switches over to this group like Explosions in the Sky. And it just gives you more like, you just feel like you're in space somewhere. It is so good. The song is good, you guys. So it's called Don't Ever Say Love Me. It's track number 2 on Colde's album called Love Part 2. And just to give you a little context about Colde, he combines hip hop and R&B, and his genre is called R&B soul. So you guys go listen to the album. I will put the link in my YouTube. You guys already know there is no music video for it yet, but I want you to listen to the song. Okay, moving on to Jimin. Y'all, everybody was trying to figure out why your boy was not at the Met Gala. I wasn't trying to figure out why he wasn't at the Met Gala because there was no guarantee he was going to be there. Once I found out he wasn't there, I was just like, okay, well, he didn't show up. But people was like, where's Jim? And people was looking for 3 hours, trying to figure 4 hours. The red carpet already left. People still trying to figure out where Jimin was at. Jimin was a no-show and a no-go and a no word. He didn't even say anything because in Jimin's mind, he probably was thinking, I never told y'all I was going. I never said I was going. That's probably what's going through Jimin's mind. Like, y'all said that. I didn't say that. And as for me, I said it was a rumor. I said we'll keep our eyes and ears open because I didn't know if he was going to be there. So there's that. And think about this. He came for Tiffany and Company. That was the reason why him coming to New York. And he came for Sugar. He came for AgustD to see the concert. And AgustD could have gone too, but both of them said they were tired. They just wanted to spend time, you know, visiting each other. And then let me tell you, no BTS person has ever gone to a Met Gala. Let that sink in. They don't go to parties like that. They just don't. They don't. When have you known BTS to go to a social gathering like that? You haven't, really. They go to award shows, they go home. They don't even go out to the after parties. They just don't. Because BTS's image, they have a certain image they like to keep up and a certain persona they like to keep up. And they are very particular about who they're around and when they're around them. That's on the real, you guys. And yes, I'm spicy in this podcast, y'all. I am spicy in this podcast because there's a lot I want to say. But yeah, so he just didn't want to go. Was he invited? He probably was, but we would never know if he was even invited because Anna Wintour never said anything. You know, Rose was supposed to be there from Blackpink. No one said anything about that. Supposedly RM from Bottega Veneta was supposed to be there. No one said that about that. Y'all was going crazy over Jimin. That's what I was tripping off of. Okay. On top of that, you know, Jimin had set up, Jimin realized that Sugar tied his record, and that record was #2 on the top Billboard 200 charts. Sugar had tied Jimin for that. So they share that in common. So congratulations to both of them on that. And also, fans were celebrating Jimin having the longest K-pop song on the top 100 charts, which was Like Crazy. And they all celebrated. ARMY all over the world celebrated with having cakes. Jimin Like Crazy cakes. And I saw at least 100 of these pictures of people actually baking cakes and putting Like Crazy and Jimin's pictures on them. Some were pretty good, by the way. And they called Jimin the Cake Fairy because Jimin always would bring cakes to BTS members during their birthdays and occasions of things to celebrate. So that's how Jimin got the name the Cake Fairy. So congratulations, Jimin. Not sure if you're celebrating with the cake, but congratulations. And moving on. Okay, let's talk about some BTS news in general before we get on with V. First of all, congratulations to BTS with 1.2 billion views for their YouTube video Fake Love. Fake love, fake love, fake love. I love that song. Okay, Fake Love. And then they were also named the hottest touring Asian act of 2022. The top Asian touring act of 2022. #1 for the 6th year in a row. So congratulations to BTS for that. Okay, so you remember we was talking about HYBE, and I was talking about their first quarter conference call, and the results from that, their meeting that they had with shareholders. Okay, so this is where we got that Jungkook and V is going to be having their albums coming out. So they were talking about their record first quarter on their financials. Despite the BTS hiatus, they're still number, they're still number one on their records. Not number one, but they're still setting higher than expectations on their quarter results. And this is why. So they credit the individual projects, and they also credit their other artists. So coming out in the second quarter, they anticipate another strong quarter because they have the individual projects coming out. This is for the rest of this year. They have New Jeans and TXT. They're doing their spot tours. TXT is doing their tours, but New Jeans has their spot tours coming out. They've collabed with oh my goodness, who haven't they collabed with? You guys always hear me talk about New Jeans collabing with somebody. And they recently did their Zero Coca-Cola ad. And by the way, because of that Zero Coca-Cola ad, South Korea is in this zero phase. Like everything they have now is zero. Not even Coca-Cola, just everything is zero, child. Okay, so they have that. And then they have Les Seraphim just released the album, right? And they have their promotions. They're doing that right now. They have 17 just released the album, and Enhypen is getting ready to release their album. Much anticipation on that one. And Zico, he's under the HYBE label. And Zico has this group coming out called Boys Next Door, and they're about to debut. He hasn't released their faces yet, but they're about to debut. And then some individual artists have been recently signed under HYBE, and they're getting ready to debut. And of course, V and JK, Jung Cook's album coming out this year. So you guys, they have so much stuff coming. They have so much stuff coming. And then there's something called Mindat. And you know what I think that is? I think that's another boy group. But I also think there may be a virtual component to it, like Aespa. That's me. That's just what I think, but I could be wrong. But I think that's a virtual component, an AI component maybe with that group. Okay, so and Weverse also contributed to their shares going up because remember, 12 artists from SM Entertainment are now going into the Weverse app as well. So you have that. So Weverse is a one-stop shop because you can get merchandise, you can go in your V-Lives. They have the membership, so like certain content you won't see it unless so like Patreon, right? But Patreon for K-pop. And there's this other level where there's certain videos and if you want to see a live concert, you purchase that. So it's a one-stop shop. You get merchandise, you get all your K-pop artists' favorite memorabilia is coming from that site. So that's contributing to HYBE success. Okay, getting back. We talked about all the members but V, Jin, and J-Hope. So now we're talking about V. Now, with V, there was a story that when he was doing Jenny's Kitchen, there's this dog named Pero. And Pero was, like a family mascot for the show, right? Pero was a stray dog, and he needed vaccinations, and something was wrong with his leg. Well, again, someone started another rumor that V had fixed the dog's leg, child, and that V paid for the vaccinations. Well, come to find out, and you're hearing it from me, V did not, capital N-O-T, fix that dog's leg. And he did not give him the vaccinations. It was actually the drone camera crew from the show that paid for everything. Now, V is an animal lover. He's a dog lover. He has a dog himself. And although, V could have fixed the dog's leg, the drone crew, for whatever reasons, they're the ones who did it. They took it upon themselves to fix it. And I was like, what? A drone crew? I guess there was a camera crew that just all they did was operate drones overhead. But they're the ones who fixed Pero's leg and also got him the vaccinations. I'm just glad that the dog got his vaccinations because, there's all sorts of diseases and stuff out there. But nevertheless, the mascot, not family dog, but the mascot of the show, Pero the dog, the stray dog, is doing well. He's fine. He's back on Jenny's kitchen. And you know what? I wish I wish that dog all the success he needs. Okay, to you, my daughter's like, Okay, moving on. I found this interesting. We're going to talk about J-Hope and Jin. And this actually relates to all the K-pop idols that are in the military. Okay, so with the increase of interest, y'all, it's time for me to get some water, okay? So pause that real quick. Water break coming up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, y'all. My mouth was parched again. I had to get some water. Okay, so with the increased interest in Korean's military due to all the K-pop artists going in that is streaming on media now. Now we know what they do, you know, that they have to go into the media. Go into the military. People want to know, are they eating right? And are they eating healthy? Because after all, you know, fans, the fandom, they take it personal. You know, you're taking away their K-pop artists. They're going into the military. Are you really taking care of them? So when they come back, they want to see them back on that stage, right? And they want to see them back in their lives as far as, you know, entertaining them. So what the military has done in Korea now has come out and share what they eat with you. They share their dietary interests with you. And there's this app, and I already knew about this app, and most people who are fandom knows about this app, and most people in Korea, South Korea knows about this app. It's called The Camp. So whenever someone goes into the military, right, that's the way you communicate with them, is through this app on The Camp. So what they have done now is release their meals. So I'm gonna give you an example. So the dinner menu someone had tweeted this, that's actually on the Camp app. So the dinner menu for 4/18 was the day that J-Hope went into the military, right? Had his first meal that evening. The menu was rice, soft tofu stew, stir-fried rice, pumpkin beef, sweet and sour pollock, seasoned seaweed flakes, and cabbage kimchi. So the military wants to let you know they feed them, and they feed them well. I thought that was sweet of them. The military didn't have to do that, but you know, it was a growing interest in people wanting to know, what do these people eat, you know? And now the military is corresponding to let people know, hey, they're okay. They're being fed. And you know, they look good. Like most of the K-pop artists actually end up gaining weight in the military because of the rigorous training and, you know, of them constantly feeding them meals. Because, you know, the meals aren't going to be like meals if you were to go on the diet. No, this is cornbread fed type Korean meals, okay? So they will pack on a few pounds, but it's not like they're getting fat. It's just that they are bulking up, so to speak. If anything, they're bulking up muscle. Okay, and that wraps up BTS news. I know it was a lot. But I just had to give you all the news that was going on with BTS, and also let you know the good and bad this time, because we need to, you know, respect these K-pop idols and also respect them in a healthy way so that we could continue to get the best from BTS and the rest of the K-pop idols, okay? I love you guys. I really do. I just want us to be able to do this together in positivity and love. Next up is K-Releases and K-Vibes, where I go over the music videos that have been recently released in the last week or so. And on my K-Vibes, I go over the songs that I just can't get out of my head for the past week. And hopefully you'll put it on one of your playlists. Stay tuned. Welcome back to that K-pop talk, and this is the last segment of my podcast called K-Releases and K-Vibes. Okay, let's talk about the K-Releases show. These are music videos that have been recently released within the past week or so. Okay, so this week there wasn't that many, because last week there were like 7 I had to talk about. So I knew this week it wasn't going to be a lot, but what I did find, I am going to talk about on this podcast. Okay, so let's talk about Aespa. Now, Aespa had their 3rd mini album come out called My World. And from that, they had their title track, and the music video is called Welcome to My World. I really like this video, you guys, because it was futuristic. It was about about Aespa, the girls, and they kept seeing this luminous figure floating around in the sky. And in their individual locations, they would get these magical currents that come through their hands and also through their phones. And so they decided to get together and follow this cloud. And the cloud takes them into the forest. And from the forest, it becomes nighttime, and these luminous drops come down into the forest. And then they see this figure, Navius, who is the AI. And you know, Aespa has always been into this AI futuristic type thing. That's part of their persona as a group. You know, their concert that they did was the link thing, you know, the futuristic thing where they included the AI girls in their concerts. So that is part of their thing, and it works. In this video, it definitely works. It's like a ballad, futuristic ballad. That's the only way I could describe the song, and it's very beautiful. So welcome to my world. As you guys know, all these videos, I will put the links in my YouTube description box so you guys can see them. Okay, so on top of their music video, each day after that, they have been releasing what they call track videos, right? Which are samples of the songs. It's like a mini music video, but they're called track videos. So the one they released after that was called I'm Unhappy. Now, let me tell y'all, I like this one because they're talking about reality of what's going on in everyday life, like the realization of being in high school. So in this music video, I gotta stop saying music video, the mini music or track video, it's a 2-minute video, and it talks about, or it shows a girl in high school on the floor, like at a prom or something, but she's laying on the floor and everybody's just walking around her. And then everyone is ignoring her. And then it shows this cheerleader, right? So it fast forwards to a cheerleader and everyone's ignoring her. And they're both saying, I'm unhappy. So it has the popular girl versus the unpopular girl. They're both saying they're unhappy with their lives. They're looking somber. They're looking sad. And then there's another girl who takes a pill. I think it's a girl who's a cheerleader. She takes the pill. And I think at one point, both of them take a pill. And they're just like, I'm not happy. And then all of a sudden, you know, later on in the music video, they're saying they're happy. But if you really look into it, they're saying they're happy like they got to force themselves to say they're happy. So that's, you know, I really do like this because it's giving a message that, you know, it's okay to be not happy because look at what's going on around you in the world. So that's my interpretation, but your interpretation may be different. Again, the link will be in the description box of the YouTube video. On my YouTube site, it'll be in the description box. Okay, the third music video, not music video, I keep saying that, track video is Salty and Sweet. Now this one is what I call the traditional K-pop type music video, or video. I think this is like 3-minute song, and they're in the theater, they're all over the theater. They're on the stage, and then at one point they're sitting in the seats. They're just singing a song. They have these diamond chandeliers in the sky of the theater, and then they have these objects that are silver, and they're saying 1 minute I'm salty, 1 minute I'm sweet. And I took that as I'm a good girl 1 minute, bad girl 1 minute, or I'm nice 1 minute, or I'm naughty the next minute. So it's just a typical, you know, K-pop song, you know, I'm good and I'm bad. That's how I took that. Okay, good girl, bad girl thing. Okay, and then today they released another track video. Got it right this time. They released another track video, and this one's called Thirsty. Now, y'all, I like this one. I like this song. It's a nice vibe. It's an upbeat song. I like the bass in it. And it's called Thirsty, and it's about high school love, a high school crush. And they actually have guys in this video, and it's showing them hanging out with the guys. You know, it's in a high school setting, but when they hang out the guys, it's like at the restaurant. that, you know, all the kids go to after school, and then they're showing some of the girls as workers, as cashiers at the restaurant, you know, that the kids go to after school. And it shows them hanging out at sleepovers. It's like one of those high school, you know, type songs, you know, with the girls hanging out, you know, we're high school buddies, and but we have crushes on these guys. And that's what the video primarily is about. But I'm pretty sure they'll probably release another song tomorrow, because like I said, it's based upon the releasing songs that's in their album. So that's Aespa for their videos. And I just want to also let you know, this started before the album was released, when they did an intro video 2 weeks ago. It was a My World intro with a girl on the beach just walking, and it was one of the girls that was in the Welcome to My World video, you know, starting off one of the girls from Aespa. That's how it segued into that video. And then also segue into the Welcome to My World video. After they did the intro video, they did what they called a breaking news video called Phenomenon Spotted My World News, when they were interviewing them like they were on CNN News, interviewing them about this special phenomenon that they had seen. So, you know, Aespa, before I go into another artist, Aespa has always had these stories that they tell, right? And they have these stories that they tell because they want you to feel like you're walking into a new realm of K-pop music storytelling, really, because now that they incorporated these AI components to it, why not make it into a AI, you know, virtual reality type realm, you know, to make it feel like you're actually there. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to Aespa for bringing this new aspect into K-pop music. Okay, moving on. We got Taeyang featuring Park Bo-gum. Now, we know Park Bo-gum to be an actor. Well, tell me why this boy was on the keyboards. I was shook. I was like, what? Like, you know, we already know who Taeyang is, right? He, you know, he's from Big Bang, and he released his album Down to Earth last week, which is phenomenal, by the way. And he was doing a live version to his slow song called Seed. And you guys know last week I talked about Seed being so beautiful, and it's such a beautiful music video. So he did the live version, and I'm looking to the left of the screen, and I'm like, is that Park? Is that Park Bo-gum? It was. This boy could play the piano. He was on the keyboards just throwing down. He was just like, yeah, it's me. I mean, he is just so humble. Like, who knew he knew how to play the piano like that? So, you guys, I put that link in too. So good to watch it, you guys. And once again, Taeyang, when you hit that high note, hey, I'm clapping right now. When you hit that high note, hats off to you. You got it, boy. You got it. Okay, moving on from him, iKON or iKON. They got a new music video out that's called You, and it's such a cute video, you guys. I put in my notes that it's upbeat, fun. It takes place when they're in the they're at their group house, right? And they're trying to go on this trip, and they get into this van. It looked like a Scooby-Doo van, you know, from Scooby-Doo. They get in this van and they try to leave the garage, and the van won't leave. The van won't go anywhere. They're like, what's going on with the van? They finally get it to leave, and then it breaks down on the highway. And then they just get out and start dancing. So it's a very fun video to watch. Like I said, it's one of those upbeat, poppy type songs. You guys will enjoy it. It's called You, like the letter U. Now we're going to change genres a little bit. Still Korean music, but we're changing genres. We're going to go into, like I said, that R&B, soul, jazzy type music with Colde. And you remember I mentioned him earlier in the BTS segment because RM is featured on his track, track number 2 out of 8, number 2. Don't say you love me. No, don't ever say love me. I always get it mixed up. Don't ever say love me. It's the name of the track that RM is on. But this one that he released a video to when he released the album today, because he just released it today. I'm in the US. He released it today here. It's called Heartbreak Club, and it's featuring Lee Chun-hyuk. And love it. Love it. This is something that you turn your fireplace on if it's still cold, or if not, you know, you open up the windows, you know, nighttime, you have your candles on, you know, nice dinner, you know, you just, you know, you're outside on the patio and you want some nice calming music. This is it. This is it. This is something, you know, you could snap your fingers to if you're in a jazz club or something. It can go there, or you can go into a nice speakeasy spot and play the music. That's what it reminds me of. It's so good. It's called Heartbreak Club, featuring Lee Chun-hyuk. Like I said, it has a nice R&B jazzy vibe. And in this video, it's a black background, so you can't see anything in the back, but there's a lot of people around. I think it's not Lee that I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing Colde, and he is just, you know, dancing, but they're dancing around him. Oh, he's just standing there and they're dancing around him. And then all of a sudden, in the next segment, you see him fall into this rug. It looks like a big heart, a white heart, and he falls on it. And then you see a blue cake with a arrow in it. I think it's like heartbreak. That signals heartbreak, right? Because your heart is blue. You know, you're blue, you're sad, and then someone broke your heart because the arrow's going through the heart. That's how I took it. But it is called Heartbreak Club, so that makes sense. I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I haven't heard the whole album yet, but I'm going to listen to the whole album, not just because of R.E.M. Well, I heard of him because of R.E.M., but I'm going to hear the whole track because from the 2 songs and the sample songs that I have heard, it sounds like it's phenomenal. So I'm just here for it. So Colde, he does not have songs released to all his songs as far as music videos yet. Like I said, R.E.M. has told people that the album is out and his song is number 2, but don't look for a music video on that one yet. The one that has been released as far as music video wise is the Heartbreak Club. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to get into some K-rap, right? Rappers. So rapper B.I. has a song, a visualizer to his latest song called Talk to Me. And that came out. And I think, you know, with this song, it's the classic rap beat to it. And it has a little bit of electronics in it. Reminds me not of EDM. It's crossed between EDM and street rap. So I know it's hard to describe street rap and EDM put together, but if you listen to the song, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put the link to that one in there. That has been released. Okay, so the last person I want to talk about is this rapper called Panameko. And I'm telling you, Panameko, he has Zico featured in his songs. And I say songs because in his music video, there are 2 songs in one. One is called Rondaman, and then the other one is called Pew. And both songs are put together in one music video. And let me tell you, I'm here for this one. This is that gangster rap that here in the U.S., it reminds me of the Southern rap because each rap has a different sound depending on what region in the United States you're from. And this one has that Southern rap, that gangster Southern rap with a little bit of trap in it. It's good. Like if I would have never known, if they would have never been rapping in Korean, I would have thought they were here in the United States. Seriously, it's that good. So hats off to Zico for helping out your boy, Panameko. And Panameko, let me tell you, hats off to you. I didn't know who you were, but when I saw Zico's name, I decided to listen to you, and you're doing a good job. I really, really do like this song. Okay, and so for my K vibes, I have to go back to NCT U and do Stop, Baby Don't Stop. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness, Baby Don't Stop, you guys. I love that song. When I first heard it, I was playing it and singing it all the time. And then when I saw that they got 100 million views, I revisited that song, and now it's back in my head. Back in my head, you guys. So NCT U, Baby Don't Stop. That song right there. Welcome to My World by Aespa. I love that song. It's the chorus that got me. Welcome to my world. Oh my God. It's just so angelic. I love that song. So Baby Don't Stop, NCT U. Aespa, Welcome to My World. And you guys, I don't have it on the K releases because it was released last week, but 17 in I Love You, but I Don't Understand. Wait a minute. No. I Don't Understand, but I Love You. I always get it mixed up, you guys. I Don't Understand, but I Love You by 17. It's a ballad. It's on their latest album, FML. You guys, I love it. It's on the same level with me as I Don't Want to Cry. And I know you guys remember I Don't Want to Cry by 17. If you don't, you know what? For giggles, I'm going to put that one in the link too. So I'm going to put that one in my YouTube link too. So I'm going to put I Don't Want to Cry and I Don't Understand, but I Love You. Just because you guys have to understand the magnitude in which I really do like this song. So those are my K vibes of the week. NCT U, Baby Don't Stop. Aespa, Welcome to My World. And 17's I Don't Understand, but I Love You. And that wraps up this week's podcast. I know I was talking real fast. I know it was so much information I had to get out, and I was so excited to give you all this information this week. And I'm so passionate this week because so many things have been happening, like I said, in the world of K-pop. I'm here to bring positivity, you guys. I don't like hearing negative things. I normally try to stray away from negative things. But if something that needs to be addressed, I feel passionate about, I will address it. Because I like to be transparent and I like to spread positivity and healing. And that's what I love to do. So you guys, if you like my podcast, and I hope that you do, please don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to my podcast channel. I would love to grow this channel. I would love to be able to give you better quality on the air, especially with my podcast. So if you can, like I said, click like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to help support, there will be a link in my audio as well as my YouTube platforms in the description box. I thank you guys so much. And I thank you guys for the 42 countries that are listening to me from around the world. It's so much appreciated. I am so grateful and humbled that you guys are even tuning into my podcast. And once again, my name is Denise. You all know what we do here. You guys know what it's about. It's about that K-pop talk. And you guys, peace out, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.